And here we are at day 45 of the 100 Days of Narration challenge with what are we doing today? We are going to read a feature from Electronic Gaming Monthly 2 or Squared. That's what it says. Apparently from the editors of Electronic Gaming Monthly. Apparently, they had so much news they had to spread it between 2 magazines instead of making one magazine larger. So you had to buy 2 different magazines in order to get all the news. That seems perfectly fine and not at all like greedy of the people. Anyway, this was the first issue, I believe. I'm not sure if there were any more issues after that because I never got any of them after this because I just wisened up and thought, you know what? I think I can live with just one Electronic Gaming Monthly. Not that I ever even bought the original Electronic Gaming Monthly. I don't think I have any issues of Electronic Gaming Monthly. What do I say? Oh, that's a weird thought to have. Anyway, it was from July 1994, and we're going to read the feature based on Bloodstorm, which was apparently going to be the Mortal Kombat killer, going to be the best fighting game ever. And 10 years on or so, everybody still remembers Street Fighter, everybody still remembers Mortal Kombat, nobody remembers Bloodstorm. Not a lot of people remember Bloodstorm. It was a product of its time and hasn't really aged well. It's incredibly silly and you know, on one hand, it would be exciting to see it come back in a way because it's just so over the top, gratuitously violent, bloody silliness that's gonna be like it's like the Monty Python of video games in hindsight. Really, the Monty Python with like blood spurting everywhere. Oh, that's so, and it takes itself so seriously. Oh God, I'm not sure if it ever came to Australia. Not sure if it ever popped over here, but anyway, let's have a read of this. It's a multi-page feature, and it goes through like a whole bunch of different topics. So let's start with the sidebar here, the fact file for Bloodstorm in the arcade. So it's a fighting game, okay, it's available now. It has 5 buttons, and the challenge is apparently very high. The Eye of the Storm. Bloodstorm may just look like another fighting game to the average player, but like the old saying goes, you can't judge a book by its cover. It seems as though many players out there aren't satisfied with a normal fighting game, so Strata decided to make a fighting game that has everything the players have been screaming for, and then some. Tons of hidden characters, fatalities, total dismemberment moves, and a password system that blows everything else right out of the water. One really excellent feature is that the level backgrounds are interactive, which means you'll be able to use the background to perform special fatalities and also maybe even find a hidden character or 2. If there's going to be any fighting game that's going to rip apart the arcades this year, you'd better check out Bloodstorm. Move over, Mortal Kombat 2. Watch out, Super Street Fighter. The storm is on its way. By Marc Lefebvre. Lefebvre. I don't know. Lefebvre. I'm bad with names. Anyway, apparently that's the little sidebar thing, and now we get into the actual fiction of Bloodstorm, and good lord, it's see how many 90s like edgy things you can hear in the following passage. The Mega War fought centuries ago. Sorry, let's try that again. The Mega War fought centuries ago left the Earth in global ruins. The destructive nuclear horrors unleashed on the planet and its population created uncountable deaths and devastation. In the wake of this sweeping havoc, the planet rose to retaliate against the violence forged on it. polar shifts and massive earthquakes swallowed entire continents. From seething seas and walls of water, violent volcanoes erupted, spewing flames and lava across the sky. Hungry fires, searing blizzards, and brutal storms raged across the planet's surface for years in an attempt to wash away the man-made horrors that it was forced to endure. The Earth's land masses, altered by man-made weaponry and ended through elemental means, had evolved into 10 isolated provinces. As the years progressed, 8 of the provinces began to communicate and trade with each other. An alliance was formed, and a global quasi-government quasi-government was established. The social structure evolved into a mixture of medieval practices, hybrid technology, barbarism, and barter. With tensions running high, the Planet Alliance is beginning to falter, and the provinces are no longer considered allies. Now, the High Emperor, the one guiding force that all provinces had agreed to abide by, has been mysteriously and horribly sorry. Let's try again. With tensions running high, the Planet Alliance is beginning to falter, and the provinces... Whoops, that sentence again. Okay. Now the High Emperor, the one guiding force that all provinces had agreed to abide by, has been mysteriously and horribly murdered. The ancient provincial agreement declares that a new ruler must be chosen through combat between the rulers of each province. Each province will come prepared for battle with their own gauntlet of ascension, a gloved weapon that only those in power may don. These ancient gauntlets are treasured and revered by their people, for they are the foremost symbol of power and honor each province can have. Oh, dear Lord. There's so much embarrassing 90s in there. It's like, a post-apocalyptic future, and for some reason everybody has to fight one-on-one in order to prove their country's worth, and yeah, fiction and games back then were pretty horrible. Not that they're great today, but these days, at least, you know, there's a kind of I don't know, reality to it. I don't know. On the other hand, you know, this kind of cheesy, over-the-top fun is, you know, what I kind of miss about video games. You don't really get that kind of thing these days. I mean, everything's so serious. Metal Gear. Even the Metal Gear series, which have been, well, I guess they are still pretty ridiculous. But still, there's this kind of like, no, they have to be like more serious, like the Call of Medal of Honor duty battlefields, and you know, they have to be really super serious, and everybody's super serious and stuff and whatever. But anyway. And now apparently they're going to talk about the control scheme here. The controls of Bloodstorm are very unique in comparison to other games such as Mortal Kombat 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Mortal Kombat 2 uses the low, high, and high attacks, while Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, uses 3 sets of punches and kicks, light, medium, and hard. Bloodstorm has a block button in the middle, like Mortal Kombat 2, but instead of using the punch and kick config, you have total control of each limb, either front or back, and that is until the other player gets a hold of you. In one arm, you wield a Gauntlet of Ascension, which can be a very powerful weapon if mastered correctly. How much mastering do you have to do in a 2D fighting game? That's my question. And here we go with some of the features in Bloodstorm. And the feature number 1 is blood. If you're looking for blood and gore, look no further. Bloodstorm has it all. Besides the fatalities you can perform, there are also decapitation moves, which will leave your opponent in a world of hurt. And you thought Mortal Kombat was bloody? Think again! And then we have screenshots of lots of red exploding everywhere. Lots of red paint. Wow, that's a lot of red paint. This entire screenshot is nothing but a big red splatter, and I can see some of the screen behind it. That's that's a lot of blood for your buck, you know? Blood for your buck. No, wait, back then they were just using quarters. God, do you remember when arcades used to take quarters? Now they take like oh, I don't know how much how it is in America, but in Australia we have like $1, $2 coins. So these days games cost like $1. Do arcades even exist anymore? We have like one arcade here in Adelaide, South Australia. Just the one arcade that I know. No, there's two. 2 whole arcades in South Australia. And yeah, it's a very sad state of affairs for arcades. And the other feature we've got for Bloodstorm is gauntlets. Each combatant has his or her own gauntlet to defend themselves with. The gauntlet can be used as a weapon, either in close-up combat or by launching it at your opponent. Be warned, your enemy can pick up your gauntlet. If quick enough, you can block with your gauntlet. It is possible to switch gauntlets in the middle of a round. Check out the gauntlet on this bad dude. Sorry, I'm reading the captions for these various screenshots that I had here. Tossing the gauntlet works great in combination. And what's the other feature here we got here is powers. Each player is equipped with a special ability that is unique from the rest of the fighters. If you defeat your opponent, you can gain their special power. You will be able to keep your powers until you are defeated. You can even store numerous powers under the password system until later on, so you can under the password system until later on, so you will always have a maxed out fighter. Ooh, that's that wouldn't lead to balancing problems or anything like that. And the last unique feature is passwords. Bloodstorm has a very cool feature which allows you to store any of your weapons or powers that you have gained by using a password. When you start a game after you choose your fighter, you are given a short amount of time to input any combination of joystick and button sequences as long as there are 3 to 8 moves. You will be given your own and then you will be given your own personal password. Sorry, let's try that again. And you will be given your own personal password for later use. The password system works very well and also saves your stats and how many games you have won The password can also input as either a hold sequence or a charge sequence as well. You can save multiple passwords for different fighters at the selection screen. Save more than just weapons and powers with the password system. Okay, right. How does that work? I'm assuming that passwords from one arcade game to another. It would always be stored locally on that particular machine. So once that arcade machine got wiped, yeah, everything you did would be lost. That's a great system. Anyway. And, oh god, there's more of this. Okay. Alright, here we go. Ooh, there's a lot of pages to this one. Let's have a look. Oh, on the other feature, sorry, there's more features. What's this? Taunts. Right after you win a match, you can input joystick and button combinations just like the password system and have complete access to over 100 taunts. Multiple taunts can be done after each match. Here are a couple of them to get you excited. Taunts rule! And then we've got screenshots of taunts here. Get off me! Eat it raw! You don't know, Censored, about this game. Go buy EGM. That's Great product placement. Next time, try opening your eyes. I will bury you every time. You are toast. Oh, by the way, you just lost bad. Pucker up your cheeks and blow. Press your lips here. Sushi X rules this game. I don't know who Sushi X is. Presumably, he's either like a world-class player of fighting games back then, or is a programmer. And what do we got here? Sunders. Each character has the ability to perform a sunder move, or in plainer terms, you get to dismember the other player. Even though you may have a torso left, believe it or not, you can still win the round. That is, if you're good enough. If the other player, or the computer, does manage to rip you in half, it would be a good idea to head towards the corner and lay low for a while. Unless you have your gauntlet, then take your best shot. It may be your only hope. Good luck! Okay, so, and we have a armless victory, legless victory, limbless victory. You can beat someone with just your torso. Oh my god. That'd be actually pretty kind of cool, but hard to do. Oh, and now we get a list of the characters who are in this game. Okay. Oh, and all the special moves as well. Because back then they didn't have like the special move screen. You'd actually have to pick up a magazine to find out what all the special moves are, or what have you. Gotta remember those days. Like back then, they didn't have like the special moves like printed out for you. You had to figure them out, and nobody knew how to do any of the special moves. Well, when we had like Street Fighter 2 for the very first time, it was like everybody was just playing E Honda or Chun-Li because nobody knew how to do the special moves for the other characters, whereas for like Chun-Li and E Honda, it's like press the punch button really fast, press the kick button really fast, and that was it. We were very silly children back then. Okay, so and the characters we have here are we've got the character Tempest, who is a red-headed chick here, chickie, red-headed chickie. Current location Nimbus. Height 5'9", weight 114 pounds. Gauntlet, the Wendigo. Passable power, Storm Shield. And death move is Exorcism. And whatnot. The daughter of the dead emperor feels she is the rightful heir to the throne of power. To her, the contest is an insult to her genetic perfection and masterful fighting skills. Okay. And, I'm not going to read out the special moves here. It's kind of meaningless anyway without the screenshots because, well, I can see the screenshots, but even then they're kind of tiny. And the other character we have here is Razor. Current location, Ebony Harbor. Height, 6'4". That's huge. Christ. Sorry. Weight, 240 pounds. Gauntlet, I can't read that. The Natalor, the Natator, Elatator. I don't know whether that's an N or two I's. And in any case, it's Natator, possibly. And then we have like passable power is Eye Laser, and death move is Meat Grinder. And his bio is, the enigmatic leader of the Ebony Coast has had shady dealings with every leader of the planet. A troubled romance with Tempest ended with a lost limb, later replaced, against his will, with Siberian technology. What the heck is Siberian technology? Do you mean cybernetic technology, or is there a race called Siberians? This fiction is all over the place, really. Okay. And what have we got here? More features. Oh, and then there's another sidebar about the zones, the different battlefields. Each of the levels in Bloodstorm has its own hidden secrets. Some of them are noticeable, while others can be very deceiving. A lot of the secrets have to do with what zone you are in. Besides all the bloodshed from the fatalities and sunder moves, you can also perform special death moves depending on which level you're at. Check it out! I'm guessing it'll be like, you know, either the pit fatality or whatever, like the acid pool fatality in Mortal Kombat. I haven't played any of the newer combat on Mortal Kombat, so I wouldn't know the special stage fatalities in those. And then now we're going on with more characters from the series. We've got Freon. Current location, Polaria. Height is 6'2", weight is 219 pounds. Gauntlet, the Gilead. Passable power, Watermorph. Death move, Bloody Slushy. I think you can guess how that works. Freon is the noble ruler of the cold-blooded people of the Northern Province, who feel they are the chosen race on the planet. Freon is cool and in control at all times, except when he deals with the Hellhound. When he deals with Hellhound, the base leader of the Southern Province. Okay, we haven't gotten the Hellhound yet, but I'm guessing we'll read his profile soon enough. Next character is Mirage. Current location, Upsell. Height 5'8", weight 120 pounds. Gauntlet, the Anigav? I think that's it. Anigav. Passable power, explosives. Death move. Orbicolaris bomb? Where do they get these names? Where do they get these weird names? God, it's so 90s. Orbicularis. Obicullaris bomb. That's not confusing at all. Mirage, the militant ruler of the harsh desert kingdom of Upsell, is the direct descendant of the leader of the Great Uprising. Is the direct descendant of the leader of the Great Uprising. The fierce civil war left the province dominated by its female population, and men are treated as cattle, kept alive solely for pleasure and food. Right. And now we move on to another page of this. There are quite a few pages here, actually. What other character? Okay, more characters here. Character of Hellhound. Finally, we meet him. Enemy of Freon, what have you. Location, Scorch. Well, I wonder what kind of area or province that is. Height, 6 foot, just plain 6 feet. Weight, 224 pounds. Gauntlet, the Phlogiston? Really? The Phlogiston? Phlogiston. I don't know. Passable power, Hellfire. Death move, Char Dog, where you, I guess you burn your hot dog or something like that. Hellhound has an explosive temper and a lack of patience that has made him the fiercest fighter in the Scorch army. He enjoys making war along the borders of the Ice Province and does his best to disrupt any attempts at peace between the Ice and Fire people. You're kind of a dick. You're kind of a dick, Hellhound. You're kind of a dick. Next character, Talon. Current location, Siberia. Okay, so Siberia is a location. All right, current location, Siberia. Height, 6'9". Wow, you're, even for most of the really tall characters, you're huge. You're a huge character. Weight, 350 pounds. Gauntlet, the Cyber Claw. Passable power, shoulder missiles. And death move is the Ventilator. The Ventilator. That sounds horrible. The Cyborg Talon rules Siberia with a cold and emotionless fist. Most fists are emotionless, because it's a fist. It's body part. Body parts normally do not have emotions attached to it. It's you know what? Just never mind. He is the most hated leader of all the provinces. Feeling mere humans are soft and weak, Talon wishes to transform all of the bios on the planet into cyborgs. All the bios on the planet into cyborg slaves. And what other characters do we have here? There's more characters. Even more. 2 more, actually. Another character is Tremor. Gee, I wonder what province he leads. The current location, Subterra. God. You just... I already could tell he was going to be an Earth character, but why? Just drive it in. Just drive it in. Height 7'1". He's even taller than the last guy. 7'1". Weight 426 pounds. Gauntlet, the Gallon Mantle. The Galan Mantle? I don't know. Passable power, Shockwave. Death Move. Outer Shock. Oh, I'm sorry. Aftershock. This font is really hard to read. It's really hard to read. Tremor has lived for aeons due to his ability to tap into the elemental forces of the earth. From his mountain province, Tremor has watched the other leaders ravage and destroy the planet. Planet. I keep speaking up the end. Planet. And is anxious to usher in an ecological era with him as ruler. Well, that's nice. That seems almost heroic in a way. You know, apart from the fact that his moves seem to involve like killing people dead a lot. And the last playable character, or normally playable character we've got here is Fallout. Gee, I wonder what kind of powers he's got. Current location, Death Zone. Height 5'11 inches. Weight 205. Is that 85? 285 or 205? I'm gonna say 205. 205 pounds. Gauntlet. The Mephitic Fist. The Mephitic Fist. Passable power. EA Cannon. FA Cannon. ER Cannon. What kind of font do they have here? ER Cannon? I don't know. Maybe it's a cannon that launches like Electronic Arts employees or businessmen. Wow, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? And Death Move, Critical Mass. The Death Zone remained silent for centuries until the death of the High Emperor. The day before the Bloodstorm, Fallout came from the mysterious red mists and claimed his ancient right to compete for the throne. Okay, that's interesting. And then there's apparently there's a little sidebar about what secrets they are or what have you. Let's have a read of this. When Necron first entered the pocket dimension created by the Mega Bomb, he was confronted by the demonic residents of native to the world. Sorry, native to the land. Who's Necron? I don't know who Necron is. Did we just pass this character somewhere here? Who the hell is Necron? Where the hell did it come from? Where did that name come from? I don't know. I'm very confused. Oops, sorry, hit the mic there. Whatever. When Necron first entered the pocket dimension created by the Mega Bomb, he was confronted by the demonic residents native to the land. Necron used this newfound power to slaughter half of the population and enslave the rest. Over time, Necron has assembled and trained an elite group of assassins dedicated to his cause. Necron's mysterious agents have helped him to orchestrate events across the planet for centuries, causing tension and suspicion to build between the varied races. So I'm guessing he's the big final boss character, or what have you. So, secret agents of Necron. We've got Golem. Golem was created by rotting carcasses of the local demons slaughtered by Necron. Through the techno-magical powers Necron gained through exposure to the Mega Bomb, he reconstructed and reanimated a terrible and menacing creature from the victims of his experiments. This single-minded monstrosity now stalks the limitless underground passageways within Necron's lair, seeking an exit that will allow Necron's safe physical... Seeking an exit that will allow Necron's safe physical passage back to his home dimension. And location is Subterra. Shoot the large stalactite over the pit at the edge of the screen 2 times with a projectile or a gauntlet. Jump to the lower cave entrance to the Lost Cavern to fight Golem. Okay, and the other secret character is Wraith. Wraith is clever and devious, and even Necron cannot completely trust this unreadable assassin. Wraith was recruited from the small group of elite demonic rulers that governed the pocket dimension. When it became painfully obvious that Necron would soon take control of their world, Wraith turned his back on his people and offered his survivors to Necron. And, spelling error here, Necron is spelled N-E-C-K-R-O-N, Necron, whereas previously it was spelled like N-E-K-R-O-N. Great, spelling errors, that's fun. Although Wraith has followed orders to the letter and has always been a loyal agent, his cold silence and stealth-like demeanor give the impression that he has ulterior motives of his own. Wraith monitors the ongoing tensions between the fire and the ice people, and in countless subtle ways has helped to escalate the bad blood between these races. Wow, okay. And, and finally we get to, well, it's not really a profile of Necron, but it's getting close. Throughout the various levels, there are certain portals which will take you to another zone, one of evil and hatred. There you will encounter the many agents of Necron. Well, we've seen two there. Each agent has a special gauntlet that can be acquired if you think you've got what it takes. To find any of the secret agents will be difficult enough. To defeat them will be near impossible. Best of luck. Thanks. If anybody can find any of the hidden agents not listed, or any other storm secrets, I'm sure Trickman would love to hear from you. So keep those letters coming in. We'll be waiting to hear from you. By the way, there's been some rumors floating around the office that there might be special passwords to change your gauntlet, and also what stage you want to go to. If there's any truth to it, drop us a line. See ya. And yeah, that's how it worked back then. In fact, I believe this entire magazine is filled with nothing but like cheat codes and tips, which you can nowadays just grab from GameFAQs. So yeah, that's a product of its time as well. And yeah, that's it. That's it for Bloodstorm, a fighting game which nobody remembers. Nobody remembers anymore. That's crazy to think about. And it was supposed to be the Mortal Kombat killer and whatever. Anyway, that was the Bloodstorm feature from Electronic Gaming Monthly Squared, EGM Squared, or whatever you. From the very first inaugural issue, July 1994, and that was day 45 of the 100 Days of Narration Challenge. And I hope you will return for when I go on with day 46 of this challenge. All right, so see you then.